Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back in the pursuit of wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Tuesday, April 27th. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Mind Medicine stock. It debuted today on the NASDAQ, had a bit of a sell the news reaction. Still trading on the NEO exchange under ticker symbol MMED, but now converted the MMEDF OTC ticker to MNMD on the NASDAQ. So we had a huge roller coaster day today. And we'll do the MJ video all in one. There wasn't a whole lot to report, so we'll keep this video a little shorter today. But before we jump in, make sure to smash like and subscribe to the channel. I'll also put some timestamps in the description below. But we'll look at the Mind Medicine chart in just a moment. The Fed will stay put in 2021 despite growing concerns about overheating economy, and they're due to release policy updates tomorrow, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. February home prices see the biggest gain in 15 years, so the bubble continues to inflate. Meanwhile, Beyond Meat unveils new version of its meat-free burgers for grocery stores that will launch next week, and that'll be a 4-pack at $9.99. Taking a look at the crypto sector, we are bouncing and Ethereum showing some notable strength. Bitcoin essentially just going sideways, which is an altcoin bull's dream, and we could see some further upside as alt season continues to gain some traction. But need to be cautious here on BTC, on Bitcoin, because we could be potentially forming a daily lower high at EMA 26. After bouncing from the $47,000 range in that daily oversold bounce, but lack of resistance all the way up till the all-time highs. So wouldn't suggest shorting and fighting these bulls, but we need to lose the 4-hour uptrend or confirm the 4-hour downtrend to confirm that the daily lower high is set. And there's no indication of that happening yet. So moving on to the broader market, taking a look at SPY, we came very close to the all-time high today, but we did break the low of yesterday and then creeped back up toward the all-time highs. So this is a potential daily cup and handle with a bull flag. And if we were to confirm, that'd bring us up to around the 425 area on SPY. And the dollar's still weak, looking for a weekly higher low. So we'll be expecting a potential bounce on the dollar here at some point, but it is extremely weak, no signs of a bounce yet. And we have support at 89.68. So it's entirely possible that we lose 90 on DXY and potentially go back down to test those weekly supports. QQQ, also a potential cup and handle on the daily. So we'll be watching this. We didn't consolidate on the daily today, so QQQ standing out a little stronger than the overall broader market. And oil saw a nice green day today. XLE as a result, the energy sector was up as well. And gold and silver bouncing on the daily, forming nice supports on EMA 12 and still in daily uptrends. XLF, the financial sector, daily inside bar on watch for tomorrow. Healthcare sector finally saw daily consolidation after breaking its inside bar bearish, and that was after a huge move. We saw 13 trading days in a row with a higher low, similar to SPY's move not too long ago, the S&P 500, where we saw about 15 days in a row with a higher low. But at this point, it's still a daily bull flag, and we'll want to change the hourly trend back to an uptrend to be confident that the daily higher low is set. But at this point, it's still a daily bull flag, and bulls are in full control. But we could pull back from here an additional 5% or so and still be looking for a higher low. So we'll look at some individual tickers here. We had NEXE, Dash, and GME on the bull list. On the bear list, we had VEGA, Tesla, and MVMD. Tesla with a sell the news reaction as well, and a bearish reaction to earnings. They did beat estimates, but not by a whole lot, and they did sell some Bitcoin, so potentially seeing some weakness here because of that. But there's some analysts saying that the only reason why they posted a profit was because of that Bitcoin sale. But we have key support here at 691 and this daily equilibrium. If we lose 691, we confirm a daily downtrend. And like I said, we had that weekly inside bar on watch. So we'll be watching 691. If we break that, we're in weekly consolidation mode and daily downtrend confirmed. So taking a look at the Canadian MJ sector, we had PCLO, OGI, and VFF on the bear list. On the bull list, we had Love, PWR, and VLNS. Love with over 7% today, closed at the high of the day. This is a stock our group is extremely bullish on, Canara Biotech. And the all-time high up at 18 cents, the 52-week high. But just want to take a look at a couple tickers here. So we need to be watching out for EMA 12 on most names on the daily. CGC rejecting at EMA 12. APHA got over and dipped below today, but trying to save it here. And Hexo potentially topping out, but again, saved EMA 12. And we haven't started daily consolidation yet. So a lot of names, CGC, APHA, we still haven't set daily higher lows and higher highs to confirm an uptrend. So just keep in mind we are still in daily downtrends. And we could be topping out here just below EMA 26. So ideally what bulls want to see is come down, form a higher low to see the healthiest move possible, form a healthy higher low on Hexo compared to 502, and then break resistance at 598, and then form a higher low, change the daily trend, and break through EMA 26. First time we closed above EMA 12 though since the earnings reaction, and we'll want to close a daily candle above EMA 26, and like I said, ideally change that daily trend and break that EMA 26 all in one go. MSOS, same deal. Still daily downtrend, hasn't changed its trend. So when we do top out here and we lose the hourly uptrend, we'll scout daily higher lows compared to the low here at 37.56. On the bull list, we had MMEN, GTII, and VREO. On the bear list, we had KBEV, KHRN, and GRWG. So moving on to Mind Medicine chart. What a roller coaster of a day today. We did come close to filling that first gap at 444. We hit a low of 452. And I'll bring up the MNMD ticker in just a second on the NASDAQ, but just using the Neo Exchange ticker MMED because there's a bit more history on this ticker. So we do have a gap here as well at 277. I exited my position yesterday at about 125% gains. I entered on this daily inside bars. There was 2 daily inside bars in a row and daily oversold conditions. So I entered on that daily inside bar. There was no way of knowing the NASDAQ news was going to come out, but entered off that daily oversold and the potential there of that tightening range on the daily inside bars. And like I said, I would have liked to add a little bit more. I was planning to add if we saw further downside, but again, you just couldn't have known. But I was happy with that move and I locked in the profit at about 125% gains. Could have held, you could have played the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. If I would have held one more day, I would have made an extra 160%, but uplisting to the NASDAQ today, I wanted to be out before the herd. And generally when we have a run up into an uplisting to a NASDAQ or the NYSE, happens a lot in the MJ space, you usually see a run up and then a sell the news. So the harder we run into that, the more we pull back. So that's why I was quick to lock in profits, and at 125% gain, in 2 days, I didn't expect to see that at all. It was actually 3 trading days or so. But just taking a look here, from the high of the day, we dropped about 34%, and we had a huge roller coaster just to begin the day. We opened at, I think it was like 690. Let's bring up the daily chart here one more time. But opened the day at 681. We hit a high of 697 and a low of 452. So huge volatility on Mind Medicine today. And just look at where we opened from the high of the day to the low of the day in 3 candles. So in about 15 minutes, we're down 25%, then into a 20% bounce in about 10 minutes. And then in another 15 minutes, down another 18, 20%, followed by another 17% bounce. So just a trader's absolute dream today. And if you're not experienced, it would have been easily, very simple to get absolutely wrecked or, just tripped out or stopped out. And you could have really gotten hurt if you don't know what you're doing. So just make sure if you are playing any kind of oversold bounce, whether it be 5-minute, hourly oversold, while looking for hourly higher lows or daily higher lows, just know that it's sort of a falling knife type scenario and it can always go a lot lower than you think. And just, if you don't have a few years of experience under your belt, I would just highly encourage you to be cautious, especially with names like this in the psychedelic space and in the MJ space that are highly volatile. And we'll bring up the MNMD chart. So again, the OTC ticker changed into the NASDAQ ticker MNMD. And today, once we established some price discovery here, we had the EMA that we lost, EMA 12 and 26. And then we were just rejecting all day pretty much at EMA 12. It reminded me of the Coinbase chart whenever it saw its IPO and began trading. But we did top out at EMA 26. And here we are consolidating. We're just looking for a 15-minute high or low. And I could potentially see more downside tomorrow. We do have an hourly inside bar that we'll be watching. But personally, I am all out of this name. I will scout some entries, likely wait for hourly oversold. So we'll just bring up the MMED chart. Be watching for hourly oversold, likely is when I would add again to a long-term position. And again, we have this gap here to be filled down around the 277. Let's bring up the daily chart. So the high of 277. So congrats to the bulls. And huge day today for Mind Medicine. Like I said, an absolute roller coaster of a ride. So let me know in the comments below if you made some massive gains on Mind Medicine over the last couple of days. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap, and we shall see you tomorrow after market close. Also, if you could smash the like and subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.